guys, welcome or welcome back to another video. We're hitting day 4 of vlogmas up, and today we're going to talk about all my anticipated 2025 releases. And that's so crazy to say because 2024 has literally been flying by. So we're going to go ahead and get into it because this video, I don't know, this video might be a little long because y'all know I'm a certified book yapper. But I have my iPad because I have all the books listed up here, and I think I'm just going to go by months and then we can just talk about them and see which books that I'm like really excited for. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alrighty, so we're going to get started with January. So the first book in January that's coming out that I'm really excited for is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. It's coming out January 21st, and it's the third book in the Empyrean series, so it's the Fourth Wing series if you did not know. And I'm excited for this book. I'm not as excited as I thought I would be. The hype is definitely down a lot less than in comparison than I was for Iron Flame, because for me Iron Flame was just a little bit of a letdown because I felt like one, the book was too long and I felt like it was a little bit repetitive. But I'm excited to see where we're gonna go with Onyx Storm because I did like the ending of Iron Flame. I really enjoyed the second half of Iron Flame, but I could have went without the first half, so I really feel like it really just depends on that front. Then the second book is The Crash by Frida McFadden that comes out January 28th. Frida writes great psychological thrillers. They're really quick, easy books that you can turn your brain off to. I know nothing about this book, but I'm excited because it's Frida McFadden, okay guys? Like she's just an easy author to read and to get into, so I'm really excited on that front. And then last but not least, I have Four Real Realms by Mia Corlin that comes out January 7th. This is the second book in the Five Broken Braids trilogy, and I'm not like super like hyped or ecstatic for this book, but I am curious to see where this book is gonna go because I did buddy read this book with my boyfriend, so I'm excited for us to get back into the world and for him to have another book for us to buddy read together. I don't know if this book is also going to be like another heist kind of plot like it was in the first book, but I'm intrigued to see what we got going on there. And those are all the books that are coming out in January that I know of that I'm excited for. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and move into February because there's also books in here. So we're going to start off with Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This book comes out February 4th, and I'm so freaking excited. Ali Hazelwood is an autobi author for me. I freaking love her work. Her STEM romances is so good. I read Bride, which is her first paranormal romance, which I also really enjoy. And I also enjoyed Checkmate as well, which is her first young adult novel. Like, Ali Hazelwood has really been serving us up. But I'm really intrigued about Deep End because it says it's a competitor diver and an ace swimmer jumped into forbidden waters in the steamy college romance from the New York Times bestselling author of The Love Hypothesis. Scarlett Vandermeer is swimming upstream, a junior at Stanford and a student athlete who specializes in platform diving. Scarlett prefers to keep her head down, concentrate on getting into med school, and on recovering from the injury that almost ended her career. She has no time for relationships, at least that's what she tells herself. Swim captain, world champion, all-around aquatics golden boy, Lucas Bloomquist thrives on discipline. It's how he wins gold medals and break records, complete focus with every stroke. On the surface, Lucas and Scarlett have nothing in common until a well-guarded secret slips out and everything changes. So they start an arrangement, and as the pressure leading to the Olympic heats up, so does the relationship. It's supposed to be just a temporary, mutually satisfying fling, but when staying away from Lucas becomes impossible, Scarlett realizes that her heart might be treading into dangerous waters. I'm intrigued because this, I believe, is Ali Hazelwood's first college romance, so I'm excited to see where this book is going to take us, and I just know the book is going to be so good. My second book for February that's coming out is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison that comes out February 11th. I am like semi-ecstatic for this book. I've been working my way through B.K. Borison's catalog. I recently just jumped into the Love Light Farm series by her, and I only read the first 2 books, but I seen Eden, I don't know how you say her name, is it Eden or Eden? But I seen her on TikTok and she was raving about how First Time Caller literally got her out her book slump, and she was just raving about the book on TikTok. So I decided I'm going to give this book a try. She writes really cute romances, normally like rom-coms, so I'm excited to see what this book is. And if it wasn't for Eden, I don't think I would have been excited or have this book as one of my anticipated releases. But she was raving about it. It got her out of a book slump, so that's impressive. And then last but not least, we have the second book in The Heartless Hunter. I think it's a duology by Kristen. I don't even know how to say her last name, so I'm not even going to butcher it. But that book comes out February 18th, and it's called Rebel Witch, also known as the Crimson Moth series outside of the United States. I don't have much to say about this because I haven't read Heartless Hunter yet. So how can I anticipate something I haven't even read the first book for? But everybody keeps telling me Heartless Hunter is so freaking good, and I definitely probably would have read the first book by the second time the second book comes out. But I'm really excited. I've been loving fantasy and really jumping into a lot of fantasy this year, so I'm excited to see where the hype is gonna go. And I think Rebel Witch, like, something in my gut already tells me I'm gonna enjoy Heartless Hunter and enjoy Rebel Witch when it comes out, based off just what I've seen other people talk about, especially with the people who already got their advanced copies. So yeah, I'm just like so freaking ecstatic. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to March in this. There are so many releases literally coming out in March that I'm excited for. So the first book is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins that come out March 18th. And I love everything by Suzanne Collins. This is another book in the Hunger Games series and that whole universe, but this time we're following Haymitch's story. We've gotten some background in Haymitch's stories in the previous other books in the Hunger Games series, but for this I'm so excited. And there's also going to be a movie attached with this as well. I'm just so excited because first, it's just freaking Suzanne Collins. Like, how could you not be excited? It's the Suzanne Collins. This is the same lady who wrote for Wild Wild Wesby, okay? Like, I am like ecstatic. I just know she's going to do a great job because Suzanne only writes when she knows she has something she really wants to say. And I feel like with her giving us another book and just the way how the political climate has been this year in 2024, I definitely feel like we're going to have a lot of parallels between fiction and reality, which she always done. So I'm just so excited to see and learn more about Haymitch's story and just really get like a more in depth into it and really learn about Station 12. I don't remember what they're called again. The Reapings, not the Reapings, but the villages. But I know it was like in 12, Katniss lived in 12, and Haymitch is from 12. You know what I'm talking about. If you've read the books, you know. And then we have King of Envy by Anna Hong. Comes out March 25th. Have I read any of the King of Sin series books? No. But have I been collecting them like Infinity Stones? Yes. It's Anna Hong. I love her writing. I ate the Twisted series right up. And I own every single Anna Hong book. It's Anna Hong. She's the auto-buy author for me. And yes, are the stories all the same with just like different characters? Yes. But will I still eat it up every single time? Yes. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Point blank period. So I'm so excited for King of Envy. I can't wait to really get into it. I feel like Anna Hong, she just does a really great job of writing billionaire romances, and you know, that's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Then we have Oathbound by Tracy Deonn. Comes out March 4th with its the third and final book in the Legendborn trilogy, and I'm so freaking excited for it. I'm actually currently reading Bloodmarked at the moment right now on audio. I've been listening to it, and I'm just so excited to jump back into this world. I jumped into Legendborn earlier this summer. I think I read it back in June, and I loved it. I immediately gave it 5 stars. Oh my god, Tracy Deonn did such a great job with setting up the world and the plot, and the way she ended the story was just chef's kiss. So I'm so excited to finish Bloodmarked and then hop right into Oathbound in March and see how she's going to end this series, because Tracy Deonn writing has been spectacular. Then we have Summer in the City by Alex Astor, and that comes out March 25th. This is a romance book by her. Alex Astor also has been writing the Light Lodge series, which was originally a trilogy, but now it's going to be a 5-book series. I've also been enjoying her YA fantasy in the Light Lodge series. Her writing has been phenomenal, and it's been really great and easy to get into. So I'm really excited to see how she's going to pivot and write into romance. I think it's really good when authors can write in multiple genres. So I'm so excited. Also, I seen the covers and the spray edges that it comes with, and I'm just like, ooh. And it's like really, really stunning. So Miss Alex Astor, first of all, this lady Alex Astor has liked my TikTok. This woman has seen my TikTok and seen me talk about her book. So if you just so happen to come across this Alex, or you're publishing team, marketing team, or whatever. And if you want to send me an advance copy, please, I beg you for the gods. And last but not least, we have Kiss the Villain by Miss Rena Kent. Comes out March 20th. I believe this is either the book that is connected to the Legacy of God series and in the Rena Kent universe, or is her book that is her first book outside of the Rena Kent universe. I can't really remember, but I don't care. It's Rena Kent. I'm gonna read it. I love the Legacy of God series. Have I read anything outside the Legacy of God series by Rena Kent? No, because the Rena Kent universe is really long, multiple books, but I am gonna get into it. But I was so excited when she decided she was gonna write another book. But if I'm not mistaken, I really do think Kiss the Villain is part of the Legacy of God series. But before I say something wrong, we're just gonna look it up, because duh, that is what the internet is for. Yeah, so it's the Legacy of God book. So this is another Mel spin-off, and this is for the Legacy of Gods, and we're following a professor and a student. And this is a standalone, but it's set in the Legacy of Gods world, and this is Caden and Garrett's story. So yeah, I'm excited because Rena Kent wrote her first male romance with God of Fury with Killian. I think his name was Killian. I don't really know. Okay, it's been so long since I read that book. But God of Fury was her first male romance, and I ate it up and I gave it 5 stars. So I just have a feeling this one is also gonna eat now. And then we have April. April is also a very stacked month when it comes down to books. So the first one I have is Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, and it comes out April 1st. And I just watched one of my, well, she's not my mutual, but I just watched one of the girls, I think her name is Madison, on YouTube, and she was like doing a 24-hour readathon, and she was reading this because she got an advance copy, and she said that it was such a tearjerker, and she was literally crying every 5 seconds in this book. I'm so excited to jump into it. I haven't read any of Abby Jimenez books, but I have been buying them. I do plan on getting into her universe. I do know her books are interconnected standalones, but I've heard people just say that Abby Jimenez writing is so phenomenal, and that she has a really good way of just making the characters feel like they're so real, like you actually know them in real life. So I'm just excited. I'm just excited. I can't really speak about her writing because I haven't read any of her books, but I heard nothing but great things. I don't think I heard anything negative about her writing or her books. So I'm excited. I'm also excited, sort of kind of, for this one, but this is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. It comes out April 4th. This is the third and final book in the Powerless trilogy. I don't know, I'm 50-50 with the Powerless trilogy. I gave the first book, I gave Powerless 2 stars, but then I gave Reckless 4 stars. So I feel like Fearless can go either way. It can either be really, really good, or it can be really, like, not my favorite book. So I'm just gonna say I'm in the middle with this one. I don't know what this book is going to be about, but the way the second book ended, I think I kind of have a little bit like an inkling of what the book is going to be about. We got a lot of cat and mouse, Tom and Jerry action in the second book, but in this one, we are probably going to be following a story about how the book ended and following up and picking up off of there. So I'm excited. All told by author, and we have Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, which is coming out April 22nd. I don't know anything about this book. I just know Emily Henry said she was releasing a book a little bit right after she dropped Funny Story, and I was like, oh yeah girl, you definitely know that I'm going to be picking this book up. So it says that it's about 2 writers that compete for the chance to tell the larger-than-life story of a woman with more than a couple of plot twists up her sleeves in this dazzling and sweeping new novel for Emily Henry. Alice Scott is an eternal optimist, still dreaming of her big writing break. Hayden Anderson is a Pulitzer Prize-winning human thundercloud, and they're both on balmy little Crescent Island for the same reason. To write the biography of a woman no one has seen in years, or at least to meet with the Autogerian who claims to be the Margaret Eves, tragic heiress, former tabloid princess, and daughter of one of the most storied and scandalous families of the 20th century. When Margaret invites them both for a 1-month trial period, after which she'll choose the person who tell her story. There are 3 things keeping Alice's head in the game. 1, Alice genuinely likes people, which means people usually like Alice, and she has a whole month to win the legendary woman over. 2, she's ready for this job and a chance to impress her perennially unimpressed family with the series publication, and 3, Hayden Anderson, who should have no reason to be concerned about losing this book, is glowering at her in a shaken to the core way that suggests she sees her as competition. But the problem is, Margaret is only giving each of them pieces of her story. Pieces that can't swap to put together because of an ironclad NDA and an inconvenient yearning pulsing between them every time they're in the same room. And it's becoming abundantly clear that this story, just like Tale Margaret's Spinning, could be a mystery, tragedy, or love ballad depending on who's telling it. Okay. First of all, the cover is freaking stunning on this book. Second of all, oh my god, the blurb is really long and there's some big words in here for Elmo. I was struggling. It sounds like it's going to be really good. We have 2 writers, and one thing Emily Henry is really good at, she's going to either put an author or a writer in her book. And it's giving me book lover vibes with the 2 authors. If you know, you know. But I'm excited. I'm intrigued nonetheless. I end up getting an arc for Funny Stories, so maybe I could get an arc for this book as well. I gave Funny Stories 5 stars, but it's a 6-star read in my heart. Daphne and Miles, I love them severely. So I just know Emily Henry is going to do phenomenal things with this book as well. Then we move on. We have Enchantra by Kaylee Smith that comes out April 8th. This is the 2nd book in the Phantasma world, and I believe it's going to be a trilogy. I'm excited. I just read Phantasma last month because it was my book club book, but I'm excited to see how that story is going to go, where it's going to take us, and just following our FMC and MMC, our 2 main characters, because the way that story ended, it definitely left you on a cliffhanger. So I'm so excited to see how Miss Callie Smith is going to do with Enchantra, especially because Phantasma was her debut novel and she definitely knocked it out of the park for me. And then last but not least, we have The Perfect Divorce by Geneva Rose that comes out on April 15th. I gave The Perfect Marriage 5 stars, and it was my first Geneva Rose book, and I've read every one of her books since she's released them. And I'm excited to see how she's going to put a spin on The Perfect Divorce. It's going to be a sequel to The Perfect Marriage, so I'm a little bit intrigued. I feel like this book can go either way. I feel like I can either love it, it's going to be okay, or it's going to be a book that's just not my favorite. I don't really know. Geneva Rose has been like a hit or miss with me. I haven't loved any of her books the way I've loved The Perfect Marriage. So I'm just going to say I'm going to be walking on eggshells. But one of my mutuals, Brittany, she did get a arc, and I've been following her Goodreads on her like updates on Goodreads about The Perfect Divorce, and I've seen nothing bad yet. So I digress. I think it could be 50-50. Between March, April, and May, we have like so many freaking books, but let's talk into May. So the first book I have is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick. It comes out May 20th. This is the first book in the Stonewater Kingdom by Rachel Gillick, and also again, the cover is freaking stunning. I am nervous. I'm 50-50 on this because I did read the Shepherd King's duology by her, and it wasn't my favorite. I actually didn't love it the way like most people did. I gave the first book 2 stars and the second book 3 stars, but I have this thing, well, I will give a writer 3 tries, an author has 3 tries, and if I don't like your book after the 3rd book I read, then I just chalk it up as you might not be an author for me, and that's okay. But I am excited for this. This is supposed to be another like mythic gothic fantasy, and it's supposed to be a romantasy as well, so I'm intrigued by this. The synopsis and the blurb that I read seems like it's going to be a really good book. It seems like something that's going to be a little bit more up my alley, and it seems like it's going to be shying a little bit away from how the Shepherd King duology was. So I'm intrigued. We seem to have folklore, magic, and a really unique magic system. So I cannot wait to see how the magic system is, because I would say the magic system in the Shepherd King duology was definitely unique. So I'm just a little bit intrigued, but I feel like this one can also be 50-50 for me. Then we have Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. Comes out May 13th, which is my birthday, and it is the 3rd book in the Lakefront Billionaire series, and I'm just so excited. I've been really enjoying the Lakefront Billionaire series. I've owned all the Lauren Asher books, but I started off with his series. I read Love Redesign and gave it 4 stars, and then Love I'm Writing I gave 3 stars. But in this one, we don't know much about it. There's no blurb or there's no cover out, but it's supposed to be coming out May 13th. But we're gonna see. I think this is Lorenzo and Lily's book, so don't quote me. And then We also have another book by Rena Kent coming out. This is Beautiful Venom by Rena Kent. Comes out May 27th. This is the book that I was talking about earlier. So this is the book that's going to be her first book she's writing outside the Renaverse. And I'm so freaking excited. I don't know much about it because, like I said, I just mark books as I want to read them. I write them down. I don't really look at the blurbs or the synopsis too much because, like, it could spoil stuff sometimes, but I'm so excited for this. I think Rena Kent does a really good job of writing books. I believe it's going to be a dark romance book, so that's really what she writes. She writes a lot of dark romance, mafia romance books. But I'm so excited to see what Rena is going to give us outside the Renaverse. And I'm going to support this book because it is her first book outside the Renaverse. So I know for her this is like a big step. And then the next book we have is Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. It also comes out May 13th. My birthday again. And this is the third and final book in the Skyline series, and we're following Hendrix's story. The first book was Before I Let Go, and it follows Yasmin's story. In the second book, This Could Be Us, where we follow Soledad's story, and now we're getting Hendrix's story. And Hendrix is like the rich auntie. She got no kids, so I'm so excited. She's the type to like sleep around and don't want to be tied down to anybody, so I'm really excited to get her story. I feel like Kennedy Ryan is going to do a phenomenal job of showing us about, you know, in the books we get this whole like rich auntie vibe. She takes care of the kids, but they're not her kids, and she spoils them. No man is going to settle her down. But I feel like we're going to get a lot more like generational trauma and things and talk about that in her story. That's what I'm getting out of it. And I'm excited because I got an arc for This Could Be Us last year via NetGalley from Kennedy Ryan, so I cannot wait to like get my hands on this and really read this. Kennedy Ryan does a great job writing contemporary romances, but stories that are so believable that you can really see the parallels to it happening in other people's lives. So I'm just ecstatic. And then last but not least, we have Audrey and Bash Are Just Friends by Tia Williams. It comes out May 6th. Tia Williams has been also like a 50-50 author for me. There's books that I love by her and there's books that I haven't loved by her. This is a YA romance, and it's following Andre, who is junior class president. Interesting. And Jenny. So I'm excited. This is supposed to be a YA romance, so I'm excited. Apparently this is featuring Andre from 7 Days in June. I don't remember Andre in 7 Days in June, so maybe I need to reread that book because apparently I'm missing something. And that's all the books that I want to read in May. Let's move on to June. There's not much, but we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It comes out June 3rd. I'm excited for this. I really enjoy Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. I think her writing is really good. But I know the story is following NASA, like she was like works in like the space field, something like that. Like our main character works in a space field, and I think something doesn't go the way she plans, so she has to have a different trajectory course in life. But I'm intrigued. I haven't read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book in a long time, and I feel like her last book that came out was Carrie Soto. Carrie Soto is back, right? And I think it's been like maybe 2 years. So I'm excited. I think Taylor Jenkins Reid does a really great job of writing good like historical fiction pieces. So I'm intrigued to see what she's going to bring to the table with Atmosphere. And then I have Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen that comes out June 10th. This is the second book. The first book in this series is Curvy Girl Summer, which was her debut novel, which I recently just read like less than 3 months ago, and I really enjoyed that. So now we're following a different story with another side character, and I believe these are going to end up being interconnected standalones. I'm just excited to see what else Danielle Allen has to offer, because I really did enjoy Curvy Girl Summer a lot more than I did. She writes really good adult fiction, adult contemporary romance, and I thought it was a really good book, so I'm excited. She gives us black characters rooted in like black culture, which I really enjoy, and yeah, so I'm excited. So I'm intrigued. So we're gonna get started with July. I have Blood in the Water by Tiffany D. Jackson that is supposedly supposed to be coming out July 1st. But this is about, so Blood in the Water is following Brooklyn girl Kaylin McKinnon, who feels like a fish out of water. She's spending the summer with family friends in her huge house on Martha's Vineyard, and the vibe is definitely snooty. Still, there are beautiful beaches, lots of ice cream, and a town full of fascinating black history. plus a few kids her age who seems friendly, until the shocking death of a popular teenage boy rocks the community to its core. Was it a drowning, a shark attack, or the unthinkable murder? Kilani is determined to solve the mystery, but her investigation leads her to uncover shocking secrets that could change her own life as she knows it if she survives. So it seems like we have like a kind of like a mystery thriller aspect to this book, which I think is really great. I ended up reading The Weight of Blood by her and Allegedly, and Tiffany Jackson has phenomenal writing. She does really great, so I'm so excited because whenever you think you know what's going on, she always surprises you with a good twist that you probably would never see coming. So I'm so freaking excited. It seems like this is also going to be like YA as well, which I enjoy, because I just feel like when it's like a YA mystery, it just feels so good. It's just something about a YA mystery that I really love. But that's all that I have for July. And last but not least, for August, I have Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Meyer. This book comes out August 7th. This is the third and final book to the Sister to the Villain trilogy. And I'm just excited. I'm sort of excited. Like, I'm not like 100%, but I'm like 75% excited because I gave the first book 2 stars. I think I gave the second book 3 stars. So I feel like this third book has the potential to be even better, or it can still stay like a 3-star read. But I'm excited. We're going to be following and jumping right back into the story and following off what happened at the end of book 2. I feel like the way it ended, there's definitely some room for interpretation, but I feel like it would be a quick, easy like fantasy read. I love the pacing in her book, so yeah, I don't feel like there's much to offer there, like not in a bad way, but I feel like there's like not much to like analyze. Does that make sense? And then those are all the books I have so far. There's no September, October, November, or December releases that I have on my radar or that I know of. But maybe if some comes up again, we can do like a update for like the other half of 2025. But as of right now, I have nothing for September, October, November, and December. Okay, and before we end this video, I want to just talk about some books that I think I have on this list that could be like have potential to be 5 stars. So I really think Deep End by Ali Hazelwood has potential to be 5 stars, because I don't think I rated any of Ali Hazelwood's books lower than 4 stars. I think all her books either have a 4-star or a 5-star rating. So I really think Deep End have the potential to become a 5-star, because just it's her first like college romance, and it still has like that small like STEM tidbit to it, but it's not STEM focused in comparison to her other like STEM romances. So I really think she has potential just because I've enjoyed all of her books. I think Sunrise on the Reaping can also have a really good potential to be 5 stars. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Songbirds of Snakes and Ballad. I gave that book 3 stars, but to be fair, I read that book right after reading the whole Hunger Games trilogy, so it could have been like an issue of just like expecting something, and that book ended up being a little bit more different than I was expecting. But I think if Sunrise on a Reaping is following that same format as the original Hunger Games trilogy books, and not the format of the Songbirds, the Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, then I really think it has potential to be 5 stars as well. I think Oathbound by Tracy Dion also has potential to be 5 stars. I haven't finished Bloodmark, so I can't speak on that, but just the way like the feelings I have got just reading Legendborn, I really think Oathbound has some potential as well. I also think Great Big Beautiful Life can also have potential to be 5 stars, just because I love Emily Herring's writing, and her last release, Funny Story, gave me 6-star feels, and I really enjoyed that book. So depending on how this goes and how the writing is and how the story and the plot is set up, it has that potential as well. I also think Can't Get Enough by Katie Ryan could definitely end up being a 5-star read. I gave 4 stars to This Could Be Us, and no, Before I Let Go and This Could Be Us I gave 6 stars to. I absolutely love Soledad's story, and I feel like Hendrix's story can be just as powerful, but their whole friend group as a whole, the whole series is just really powerful. So even if it don't become a 5-star read, I think I still will have a great time enjoying and reading her work, because Katie Ryan to me is just really phenomenal. And I think those are all the books that I think could be potential 5 stars for this upcoming year. These are all my anticipated 25 releases. Alrighty guys, if you're here, that means you have made it all the way to the end of the video. And I want to say thank you so much for watching and enjoying day 4 of Vlogmas. And don't forget to tell me, what are some of your 2025 anticipated reads? I told you mine, and I would love to hear yours. Until then, I love you guys, and I hope you all be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.
Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.